This is the council, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome you to the press conference following the General Affairs Council meeting chaired by the Romanian Presidency. Today we had a very busy agenda, which is going to continue in the afternoon with another formation of the General Affairs Council. First and foremost, I would like to start with the legislative part. Since it refers to two subjects of particular importance for the ongoing developments, the next European elections and Brexit. First, the Council approved today a regulation which provides for a verification procedure related to infringements of rules on the protection of personal data in the context of elections to the European Parliament. This regulation allows to impose financial sanctions on European political parties if they breach data protection rules in order to influence the outcome of the European Parliament elections. You know, this is one of the priorities of the Romanian presidency during these 3 months, to bring a substantial contribution to increase the resilience and security of the EU's democratic systems. And I think what we have done today, is going to bring complementarity with what already have achieved before. Second, very important tool, contingency measures as part of the preparation for a no-deal Brexit scenario. In the same time, with the national measures, I think the Romanian presidency was aiming to work together with the member states in order to limit the most severe damage caused by disorderly Brexit in specific sectors where it could create a major disruption for citizens and businesses, such as social security, youth mobility, transport and fisheries. So we have been able to do to adopt a number of legislative proposals that I think are going to make it easier, at least to have a continuity in the relationship between EU and Britain on a series of issues, as I mentioned: social security, Erasmus+, and especially air transportation. We had the policy debate on the multi-annual financial framework for 2021-2027 in public session, so everybody was able to notice. I think it was the idea of the Romanian presidency to come with something that is framed under two themes. This time it was about climate change and migration. We were happy to see that the colleagues around the table took stock of the way we push forward the debate. On the other hand, I think it was a good opportunity to see that we are advancing on the MFF-related sectoral programs. We have done pretty well, I should say. From 1 week before, in the informal General Affairs Council in Bucharest, I think we added a number of new sectoral proposals. So now we have Digital Europe, European Defence Fund, Justice, Rights and Values, Connecting Euro Facility, LIFE Program, and Space Program. We are as well pursuing work on the others, both in the Council and with the European Parliament. Based on the agreements expressed today by the Member States, the Romanian EU Council Presidency will send, in the name of the Council, the report to the European Parliament and convey the Council expectation for a fast resumption of work with the next European Parliament on the basis of what has been already agreed. About the thematic discussion I mentioned at the beginning, this is going to be part of our contribution. I think we want to come in June at the leaders' discussion with an improved nego box. In order to get further guidance at the political level. We discussed today as well the draft regulation establishing the instrument for pre-accession assistance. As you know, enlargement is a big priority for Romania's presidency, so I think having that done as part of the multi-financial framework, it's really a step forward, because I think that when we discuss about negotiations and about the political process with the candidate countries, we have to discuss as well about the pre-adhesion funds. And agreeing on that, I think it was really a step forward. And at the end of the day, at the end of our discussion, we had a debate with all member states on the Council conclusions for the European Council at the end of the week. As you know, this is a council that is focusing on economic issues. So we spoke about jobs, growth, and we adopted conclusions on several issues. We will try to propose several issues relevant for jobs, growth and competitivity, to further develop the single market, the capital markets union, the industrial policy and the European digital policy. On climate, leaders are expected to reconfirm their commitment to the Paris Agreement and to provide guidance on the overall direction and political priorities to enable the European Union to submit a long-term strategy by 2020. On external relations, we are preparing the EU-China summit to be held on the 9th of April this year. There was an important discussion on Council conclusion on disinformation. We know this is another theme the Romanian presidency put forward from the very beginning, from the very start, from the very first day of the presidency. So the European Council will discuss progress in tackling disinformation and the need to protect the democratic integrity of the European national elections across the EU. Resilience and security of the EU democratic system, it's one of the key themes of Romanian presidency. It's of great importance in the election process that would be coming soon. At the end, we discuss the 2019 European semester. According to the European semester roadmap, in the run-up to the Spring European Council, each EU presidency intends to organize a number of thematic debates. The Romanian EU Council presidency envisaged such discussions in Compet and Envy in February and March, in addition to the traditional exchange of views in EPSCO and ECOFIN. The main conclusions of this discussion are reflected in a report prepared by the Romanian presidency that we presented today in the General Affairs Council, and that will be forwarded to the European Council. Regarding the European semester roadmap, the presidency has updated it, given the late publication of the country-specific recommendation on June the 5th. The presidency finds it important that the relevant committees have the proper time to discuss the substance of the country-specific recommendations and ECOFIN and EPSCO to approve them. The Council also agreed to forward the draft recommendation on the economic policy of the Euro area to the European Council. Last but not least, I briefed the colleagues on the main results of the discussion with the candidate countries in Bucharest last week. In view of the future enlargement package to be published by the Commission later this spring, as well as the preparation of the negotiations for the GAC conclusions in June, my initiative was to bring together the candidate states through their ministers, high official in charge of the accession negotiations, aimed at generating a substantial exchange of views that would provide us with further momentum in this process. We try to see what they were asking from the Union, how we could speed up their negotiations, and in the same time we made very clear that the reform process is very important for each of them. In order, they have to, first of all, to pass the benchmarks in order to be able to move forward. I mentioned to the ministers today the fact that all representatives of the candidate states pointed out to their country's willingness to make the needed steps to advance on the EU path. That would be all about the discussion today. Thank you.